Chick-fil-A just dropped the new chicken and waffle sandwich, but I'm gonna show you how to make it better at home.
Now we're gonna get right into this recipe because Chick-fil-A finally did it with the chicken and waffle sandwich. But for $9 a sandwich, I'm gonna show you how to make it at home and get a few of them for about the price of one. So the first thing we're gonna do, because we need to let it brine, is we're gonna work on our chicken. Now if I show you a piece of my chicken, I've already flattened this out. You want it to be about a ½ inch or a little bit smaller than that. I've chose the method of placing it inside the Ziploc bag, beating it down, pounding it down so I can even it out. And most importantly, your chicken cooks evenly. That's important. Now there's several ingredients you're gonna need to make this whole thing, but I will put all the respective ingredients on the screen, and because you asked, in the description for you as well. So you have it separated so you know how to make the waffles. Maybe you want the waffles again one day without the chicken sandwich, but here we go. The first thing is the brine. You need pickle juice. This is the infamous flavoring that Chick-fil-A uses. I think we all know that. So we're gonna use a cup of pickle juice and we're gonna place that right in there. Now, only other additional thing you need for your marinade is you need a ½ cup of milk. So that's 1 cup of pickle juice and a ½ cup of milk. And we're gonna combine this in here together like so. We're gonna whisk this around. And you don't need to add anything else. You let that sit in and you take your chicken and you start to place that inside and you let that sit in there and brine. That's all you need. All right, that's it. Don't add any salt, pepper, nothing, because Chick-fil-A's signature sandwich actually doesn't have a lot of seasoning to it. It's just the layers that it has, but the pickle juice plays a good part. Let this marinate 30 to 60 minutes. I prefer 45. If you let chicken marinate in pickle juice too long, it could change the texture of the chicken, and we don't want that. So 30 minutes is good, 60 minutes is better, but don't let it sit overnight or anything like that. We're gonna put this in the fridge and we're gonna go ahead and make the waffle batter right now. All right, now the chicken is in the marinade in the refrigerator, 30 to 60 minutes, don't forget. Now we're gonna get to making the waffle batter. Now you need to wet and you dry like you do with most bacon. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in some all-purpose flour, followed by some salt. We wanna put all the dry ingredients into a bowl, a little baking soda, a little baking powder, and of course some sugar. Don't forget, I got you. I will list all the ingredients here so you will not miss nothing. Now we want to take these and we want to set these dry ingredients to the side after you mix together. And once again, after you get all those dry ingredients blended, you want to take that. And the next thing we want to do is you want to get your wet ingredients together. Now I got a couple eggs that's already beaten smooth. I've already cracked and beaten them. That's important. So make sure you do that. Then we're going to pour in our fresh buttermilk right inside the wet. We're gonna mix that in just like this. Get all of that buttermilk out. And we're gonna whisk in this butter. Now here's something to consider. You wanna make sure that when you pour the melted butter in, because you're using butter and egg, make sure the melted butter is at room temperature and not hot straight out the pan, because you don't wanna start pre-cooking those eggs. Nonetheless, when you get everything together, now you want to take the wet and you want to pour it and mix it right into the dry. Now we want to maintain some clumps. We don't want this to be totally smooth. So we just want to move this around like this. Now I'm giving you a killer recipe here with these waffles, but if my grandmother was alive, rest in peace, she'd slap me if I didn't put any vanilla inside. So you got to drip a little bit of vanilla in there because it adds such an incredible flavor to your pancakes or your waffles when you're doing them. If you agree with that, leave me a comment and let me know. Not too whipped and smooth, got a little bit of clumps in, and we want to take this here and we want to set this aside, and you want to leave this at room temperature for about 30 minutes. And the reason why this is great, because if you're making this full recipe, the chicken has already been in for about 15 minutes. Once this sits for about 30 minutes, then both of them are ready to go at the same time. So we're gonna let this sit at 30 minutes. And in the meantime, we're gonna do the bacon, because the Chick-fil-A sandwich has maple bacon. So we're gonna do up a little bacon, fry that, and get ready to put this whole thing together to see how it looks. All right, now we got the chicken out of the fridge. It's been marinated for the time. We want to take this out and just place this on a napkin. Now the key here is take this out, let this kind of drip off and dry off a bit. But we're going to take about 3/4 cups of this actual marinade that we had in here. We're going to pull about 3/4 cups. And now this is actually going to become your wet marinade. So we're going to pour this in here. We're going to take 2 eggs, then we're going to whisk those together, and we're going to combine them with the wet marinade. There we go, and we pour this into the wet marinade here. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm using my Steakhouse by House of Flava just because, but I suggest you just do a little salt and pepper. And there you go. Now you got your wet marinade. Now you need all your dry ingredients. Now I got some all-purpose flour in here. I got some cornstarch and some basic spices, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, all that good stuff. But I'll list those right here for you to have as well. You just want to take all of those dry ingredients that you have here, and you want to mix those right in here, just like this. Just mix those up. All right, now we take your flattened chicken breast that's been sitting in the marinade. You rub them in your wet, which got the egg and everything in there. Let that drip off as much as you can. And then drop that right in here. Just like that. I'm gonna press that flour into there. Get it really nice, like that. Then we wanna take those and let them sit right here at room temperature. Repeat the process. Go all over. All right, now you got your chicken coated. It's looking good. It's nice and even, but you don't want to fry this yet. You want to let this sit for like 5 or 10 minutes. That way that can bond together really nicely. In the meantime, heat up your grease. You want that to get to about 345 degrees, not too much more. You don't want to burn it. And then we're going to fry this chicken. Then we're going to get them waffles dropped. And we're going to put this thing together. All right, I got my grease ready. Everything's ready. This has been sitting for about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the grease. Now we got the first batch of the chicken done. It's nice and crispy. Now we're gonna go to our waffle and we're gonna make that. Now what I like to do is take a little bit of butter, get that nice and buttered up there. There you go. Now we don't want the waffles to be perfectly square. We want them to have a really nice design and texture. So you only wanna use a little bit, like less than 1/3 of a scoop. Put it right on your waffle iron. And you only want to let that cook for about 3.5 minutes and you're nice and done. Depending on your waffle maker or the temperature setting or how you like it, but I found out 3.5 minutes is good enough. But you notice there's no perfect square. You don't want that. You want it to have some personality, similar to what Chick-fil-A has done. So don't fill the space all the way. They look like that. Now I've cranked my temperature up a little on my grease. My chicken looks perfect, but now I'm gonna put it in just for a double fry to just give it a little more color to it, and it makes it a little more crispier. So we're gonna drop this in, just like that. All right, now we got the waffle, and we got the beautiful chicken sandwich. Now we're gonna put it together just like Chick-fil-A. You know you gotta have a little bit of that maple syrup drip on it. And there you go, you got it. Now, wouldn't be a true comparison to give you an idea of what this thing looks like. If you haven't seen it, I had the staff go out and they got the Chick-fil-A sandwich. So we're gonna unbox this now. And it's from today and show you the difference so you can have an idea. It has a nice, looks more of like a biscuit as far as the waffle. but it got nice bacon on the inside, not the thick bacon, and it has a nice bun. So that gives you an idea of what they look like side by side. What y'all think? And there you go. You got the He's Got Flavor on this side. You got the Chick-fil-A on this side. And I'm definitely not Chick-fil-A bashing. Chick-fil-A has done well with their business. I'm just saying, if you don't have the $10 to go try this one, you can make this one at home and maybe eat a few for a similar price. So let me know in the comment section how you like it. And would you eat it like this? Would you modify it? And just let me know if you're feeling the video. See y'all around.